Yes, judges are ridiculous, but they're on their own being ridiculous. I just point the camera at them and show it. I want to start off by saying I wore a judge's robe today, and I wore that to make a point. Putting a robe on doesn't make someone more honest, give them more integrity, or make them above the law. In fact, if anything, it makes them more susceptible to corruption. Any more than putting a hat on makes me a Texan, does putting a robe on make me someone you should trust. I want to say that, thank you. I want to say that I always begin, a couple times I've been asked to speak, is by saying that America makes the best fathers in the world and always has. That's something you won't pick up much nowadays. It's not popular and it's particularly in the biggest sprawl in judicial history in America, family courts. Completely unregulated, more money going in there than any other court. Faster growing than anything, and no accountability. But I will say this, putting a robe on somebody doesn't keep them honest, but putting a damn camera on them does. Any of you who have seen my videos know that I've been arrested as the minister has. I've been arrested many times. I'm probably, yeah, good for me, that makes me doing something. I'm the only guy I'm sure here who's ever had Ed Marsico, the district attorney of Dauphin County, on his own initiate an expungement and erase any of my charges. I had that done, and I also had the Lancaster County district attorney, who's now a judge, expunge 6 charges, but that was not the largest percentage of them. And I've been convicted, and anybody who's ever sat in a courtroom, as I have, and watched police lie on the stand to get some chicken shit conviction against a guy because he's asking questions of a judge or a lawyer, knows that we got problems. As I've told the district attorney on camera, if you're willing to put cops up there and lie to get me for criminal harassment or disorderly conduct because I put a camera on somebody, what will you do if you want to get somebody for murder? I mean, really? You're willing to commit felony perjury? I've been arrested many times, but before I picked up the camera, I was picked up a couple dozen times, and it was all going downhill. When I picked up the camera, I knew I was over already. I was planning on going to jail or dying because I was standing up against the system. And that was 10 years ago, and in 10 years I have never ceased to be amazed, as the Reverend said also, at the oppositional forces that join together. Boy, they might be politically oppositional in every other area, but if you stand up and start putting cameras at them, they join together like a pack of thieves. And I want to say that the problem is exasperated beyond measure by the fact that there are no cameras in courtrooms. Now, I say there's no cameras in courtrooms. Of course, there's cameras in the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania and the Superior Court of Pennsylvania. They show you what looks good for them. There's cameras for naturalizations and for retirement parties for judges. I've seen cameras in the courtroom. The only place there isn't cameras in the courtroom at all is where they're taking children from good fathers for profit, for government programs. And if you go in there, as I have, and ask questions in those areas where there are no cameras, you will be charged, as I have. And then the people who will go up and testify against you will be part of the system. They will be the only ones testifying against you. I want to talk real quickly about one special kind of court we have in Lancaster. It's called Family Business Court. This is where you go in, and there are 2 lawyers standing up front, and they talk to the judge, and they both represent facts, hearsay it would be called, that they weren't there to witness. They say, well, my client told me that he did this. And then the other guy says, well, my client told me that she did that. And the judge makes a sweeping decision which changes children's lives. The interesting thing about Lancaster County is there's no record being taken there. There's no transcriptionist. When I've asked for one, I've been told no. I have had my pockets turned inside out and been searched numerous times under the thought that I might have some type of recording device. What the hell are they doing in there that they don't want you to see? We know because now, I've also, as a sideline, run into what we call the flying monkeys who are dispatched when you stand up against the system, that being cops, security, sheriff's deputies, all of these people, and I've ended up filming them over 10 years, and what we're finding now is what we found is that they don't want to be filmed. And why don't they want to be filmed? Because they're murdering people in the streets. It's not all of a sudden it's happening, it's all of a sudden it's being filmed. And we will see the same thing in Lancaster County. And in every other county, when we start filming, we're going to see what they're doing to destroy people, to drive men to suicide at a rate of 10 to 1 when going through divorce. I'll end by saying this. What do these three things have in common? Cash for kids. Arguably the most vicious, corrupt example in the history of Pennsylvania judiciary. The recent case we saw in Philadelphia court, in the traffic court, where everybody knew if your friends are there, you get your tickets cleared up. How about the judge who was taking bribes to fix cases? What do they all have in common? The Judicial Conduct Board had nothing to do with outing them. The Judicial Conduct Board had nothing to do with it. The Judicial Conduct Board, you should know, does its job. Its job is to fight the appearance of impropriety. Their job is not to fight the impropriety. 95% of the complaints that come with them, they're able to, as they would say, exonerate the judge and cover for them. If the judge screwed the pooch so bad they can't, then 4% of them, they give them some kind of a letter, and maybe 1% they actually take action against. Leaving you out there with a judge that's pissed off because he knows you filed the complaint against him because he has the details of it, and lo and behold, who would that be? It's you. Now go back to that judge, having been vindicated, and tell me why more people don't file complaints. It's time that we have cameras in every courtroom in the state of Pennsylvania.
Yes, it is.
That's all I have. Thank you very much.